Hey, hello, my name is Jacqueline. I am a private jet flight attendant. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to part 2 of the very controversial Netflix paying a flight attendant $385,000 vlog. So if you haven't heard, really quick, yesterday, the internet was basically going crazy. Netflix put out a job post saying they are looking for a flight attendant to work on their private jets. If you're new to all of the flight attendant private jet work discussions, this type of flight attendant is referred to as a corporate flight attendant or a private flight attendant. So the thing that was really making everybody freak out was the salary range that they posted on the job. The salary was anywhere from $60,000 to $385,000 a year. That's a ton of money. I completely understand why the internet went crazy, why my inbox went crazy. I was bombarded with messages yesterday. I saw tweets from people who are not in the aviation industry saying, well, today's my last day on the job. I'm gonna go be a flight attendant. I have news for you people. Don't quit your day jobs. I also saw more disrespectful tweets than I wanted to, and I've already talked about this. The flight attendant job, we're just so disrespected. People don't know what goes into being a flight attendant. They think we're there to pour you a Coke and to give you a bag of peanuts. And the truth is, we are safety professionals first. Whether you're a commercial flight attendant working on commercial airplanes or a corporate flight attendant working on private jets, a lot of our training is focused in safety. We need to evacuate airplanes, and I'm not even gonna get into the whole of it. I just wanted to point out there was so much disrespect, but then I also kind of loved watching flight attendants or just respectful people in general clap back at these people. So thank you to everyone who defended us. Anyway, tons of tweets, tons of messages, tons of comments here on YouTube. I posted a quick 2-minute video about my thoughts on it yesterday, and I have like 1,500 views overnight, which might not seem like a lot, but I'm a small YouTube channel. So for me, that's a lot of views. I need to make part 2 of that video for a few different reasons. One is because yesterday definitely opened up dialogue of what flight attendants should be making. And 2, this information was shared on my Instagram stories, and salary ranges of flight attendants just need a permanent home and they need a place to live. This way, flight attendants out there have a resource and we can cross-reference, see if we're being compensated fairly, or open a dialogue with our owners or with the director of aviation about what our pay is and where it actually should be. Okay, so what do we know? We know that Netflix is paying $385,000 for you to be a corporate flight attendant. And I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again today. I think a fair number, if you are new to the industry and you've already completed your flight safety training, I think a new flight attendant would probably pull about $115,000, maybe $120,000 at Netflix. If you're a seasoned flight attendant with at least 3 to 5 years experience, I think that $175,000 to $200,000 is a fair range. So we know what Netflix is paying, but do we know if we are being compensated fairly? And how do people who are brand new to the industry know what a fair number would be? I got a message yesterday. I posted it to my story, and it was about a brand new flight attendant. They finally booked their first contract gig on a private jet. They were so excited to fly. And then they shared the information that the daily rate that they were offered was $300 a day. And this is in the US. I know $300 a day is standard in other places. We're gonna talk about some of the information that I received. So $300 a day is a very, very low number in the US, no matter what market you're in. Not only is it low for the coasts or Texas, which generally are the big payers, but it's low for the Midwest. So this flight attendant was so excited to start. They thought they made it, and then they found out they were just being paid really half of what they should make each day. And touching back to the messages that I received, I did receive a lot of people asking, oh, how do I break into this industry? How do I become a flight attendant? But I absolutely got more messages from current corporate flight attendants regarding pay, regarding fair pay, not knowing if they're getting fair pay, not knowing what they should be making. A lot of guys and girls in our industry have the same questions. And yesterday was just a perfect time for them to be able to ask, because talking about money is never really a comfortable thing. Even here sitting alone in my house, the baby's upstairs napping, but with no one else here, it's still weird talking about money. It's just not a natural thing to do. So, am I an expert regarding flight attendant salaries? Not necessarily. I do hiring for my company, so I know what my company is offering and what normal benefits for my employer are. I also do follow companies who are looking for contract flight attendants in the area, and I see what the ranges that they are posting. So I am familiar with what the day rate, a normal day rate average in my area is. But here's why my post yesterday and what I'm sharing today, here's the reason why that's so beneficial. I had so many messages. Wow, is that pay normal? This is the kind of flying that I'm doing. That's what I should be making? Oh my gosh, I feel bad for a person making that little amount of money. They should be making more. We have opened up a dialogue. We are discussing what we are making. You sent me the numbers of what you're making and the kind of flying that you're doing, and I'm here to share it with you. Again, speaking about salary and money is taboo. I shared salaries anonymously. I never said this person is tied to this salary, this person is tied to that salary. But unless we are transparent and sharing this information, we're not gonna be able to fix the inequalities for people who are left behind. All right, so let's break down the information that I got yesterday. I have all of my screenshots saved, so I'll be referring to my phone and my notes a few times. Sorry for the lack of eye contact. Very unsurprisingly, California is making the most money. Their average day rate for contracting is $900 to $950 every single day. International trips, $1,000 a day. The average salary that I saw for corporate flight attendants in California was $135,000 a year. Again, this is the average salary. I know there were higher. I saw there were a lot lower. All right, a few other messages that I got. I work in the Midwest. I'm a male flight attendant. My day rate is $600 with per diem. My average daily rate when contracting in Texas is $900. My full-time salary is between $150,000 and $200,000. I don't work part 135. I work for a family, so part 91 flying. I'd love to hear more. Now, this was really surprising. I'm not in the US, but in the UK and Europe, we make $375 US a day. Completely different, but here's a comparison. And that was shocking to me yesterday. I kind of thought our day rates were similar throughout the world, and Europe, Canada, Africa are making far less than we are making here in the States. That was something that I learned yesterday that was very shocking, because we all deserve to be making more than $375 a day for this job that we do. Okay, this is for lead FA salary range. I actually borrowed this. Someone shared it with FlightS Online, Jamie. And the discussion was at the NBAA convention, and there was a lead flight attendant roundtable, and salaries were between $80,000 and $275,000. But in a room of 20 people, the average for a lead flight attendant was $175,000 in the US. Next up, a Louisiana-based flight attendant making $550 to $600 a day. Let me know if I should be charging more. I just saw your post that a Texas girl is charging $900. We're starting to wonder if we're charging properly or if we're undercutting ourselves. When I lived in California, day rates were only $450 to $550, and salary for Part 35 was $55K to $85K. Sadly, even though it's more expensive to live there, not every company is paying you enough to survive there. Those girls are lucky. I'm Part 135, on demand 15 days and 13 days off. I make $85,000. Massachusetts contract corporate flight attendant. That was kind of a tongue twister. They're making $900 a day. I contract for a client in Bozeman and Knoxville, and I make $800 a day there. Out of Rochester, I make $750 a day, and out of Cincinnati, I make $725 a day plus per diem. Currently full-time on a Part 91 account in South Florida, and I'm making $125K. When I contract on the side, my day rate is $700. Part 135 contracting in Vegas averages $450 to $650 a day. So there's even a $200 range. It's easy to question, are we making enough money? This is still a hard discussion because No two flight attendant jobs are the same. You heard me mention Part 135 and Part 91. Part 135 are charter flights, basically, and then Part 91 is you work for an owner or a family. Someone owns that jet and you're doing the work either for the company or for the owner. So two completely different types of flying. You either know your passengers or you get new passengers constantly. And then how many days are you working a month? Are you staying domestic? Are you going international? Are your layovers long? Do you go to multiple cities in a day for a few days in a row? There are a lot of variables that you have to think about when you're negotiating your salary and trying to figure out if you are being compensated fairly. I know, we all want to be rich. We all want to make the most amount of money, but it's equally as important. It's actually more important, in my opinion, to have a good quality of life. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I want to be home with my baby. I don't want to be on the road 15 days in a row, or I don't want to be on call 15 days in a row waiting for my phone to ring. So these are just things you have to think about when you're comparing your current position and your current salary to some of the stories that we heard before. Maybe someone's pulling in a lot of money, but they're never home and they have no personal life, and that's, in my opinion, not the happiest way to live. So we're at the end of the video. You might be wondering, why did Netflix post the job listing like this? And I think it's pretty simple. In California, there are salary transparency laws, and I think posting between $60,000 and $385,000 is gonna get them the highest amount of candidates. If there's a brand new corporate flight attendant out there and they want a job, they want to fly, they've been sending their resume out and they haven't gotten any luck, they might take a position on the lower end of that salary range. Also, when you're throwing $385,000 out there as a number that you're willing to pay someone, you are gonna attract the top candidates. And then you're gonna let them down because you're not actually gonna pay that amount of money. There is over a $300,000 difference in that range, and I love being optimistic. I love being a dreamer, but you have to be realistic in this situation. Even the highest paid flight attendants that I chatted with yesterday are not making close to that kind of money. There are pilots who make that kind of money, pilots. So I would like to thank you all for watching 2 days in a row about Netflix. And I wanna thank everyone who defended flight attendants. Thank you for showing us respect. I'm gonna go pour myself a Coca-Cola, and cheers to you, Christina. If you know, you know. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you on Sunday.